Kate writing in. She says, "Thanks for playing that sound today. These are sad hours for me because I still remember the day, how I was frightened and didn't understand why the president would be murdered. Until you mentioned it, I didn't realize that I still remember the sun shining in the window, the snow outside, and how confused by what I was seeing on the TV screen. I was waking up from a very rowdy house party in Great Falls, Montana, just an hour north of where I live today. I was 7 months out of high school and was struggling to find my way in the world. Just months before, the motorcade had passed through Great Falls on the way to the airport. He was so beautiful and powerful looking when he waved and smiled at me as the car passed 10 feet from me. In the ensuing years, my political naivete has changed into jaded cynicism. I would like to call in to share those memories, but I wouldn't be able to suppress the tears. Nothing has been the same since that morning." No, it hasn't, Kate. No, it hasn't. And a generation of hopeful young optimists was rendered in an instant, in the crack of a firearm, into a nation of cynics. Dreams died that day. Hopes died that day. A lot died that day with John Kennedy. A lot died. And, of course, there is a great deal more to talk about this evening. But for starters, I felt like we sort of had to come here. Because as I've observed in the past, this nation took a sickening lurch that day from which we have never recovered. The Johnson presidency, you know better than I was a baby. But the Johnson presidency, although it had sparks of greatness, was dogged by Vietnam. And out of the murder of John Kennedy that afternoon in Dallas, we got Richard Nixon in 1968, and Richard Nixon in 1972. You can argue that every rotten thing that happened politically in this country, every rotten thing, grew like a noxious weed out of the blood spilled on the asphalt pavement in Dallas at Dealey Plaza that day.